Hi, I'm Mark, and today I want to talk about another topic that is only met with silence in the UK. As Brexit, it is kind of a taboo theme for the media. The script for Joe Biden's visit to Northern Ireland was supposed to put the Tories in good spirits, but things turned out differently. With the signing of the Windsor Agreement at the end of February, London and Brussels wanted to solve the crisis in Northern Ireland, and in the weeks that followed, the Democratic Unionist Party, the DUP, should have given up its boycott of government and resumed work in Belfast Stormont Regional Parliament. The media should have disseminated historical images at that time. 25 years after the US leaders helped signing the Good Friday Agreement, US President Joe Biden wanted to speak to lawmakers in Stormont about peace and prosperity. Like almost every script in the past 25 years, this one was not discussed with the people of Northern Ireland, and so things turned out quite differently. Stormont is not in session, so Biden only came for a short visit. He avoided addressing the crisis and, in his only public appearance, promised economic aid as soon as Parliament was up and running again. It is believed that a business forum will be held in Northern Ireland in September. 25 years ago, then US President Bill Clinton had promised economic recovery, jobs, and prosperity, and that with US funds. None of this has arrived, and many people are poorer today than they were in '98. The region has high child poverty, youth unemployment, and suicide rates. The Biden visit also exposed tensions between the United States and the UK. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak welcomed Biden at Belfast International Airport and met him for tea after breakfast. However, there were no public appearances by the two, and Sunak did not appear for the Biden speech on the new campus of the University of Ulster. Sunak doesn't like the fact that Biden has sided with Dublin and the EU in the Brexit dispute. And now Biden also visited Belfast and Dublin before visiting London. There were also no official meetings with politicians from Northern Ireland, but almost all party leaders attended Biden's speech. Only the Trotskyist formation People Before Profit and the radical unionist Traditional Unionist Voice rejected the visit. And TUV boss James Allister said, "Neither the Good Friday Agreement nor the Biden visit give me cause for joy." And PBP's Gary Carroll described Biden as a warmonger and Zionist. Joe Biden recently celebrated the end of the Troubles, but in Great Britain, there's quite silence about this story. This focus of Biden's visit touches on an aspect that Britain and Ireland should focus much more on in the coming years: an honest historical education and processing of the Troubles, the 30-year-old Northern Ireland Civil War, where 3,600 people were killed in more than 10,000 bomb attacks in Great Britain and Ireland. The Troubles and the 800 years of British colonialism in Ireland that led to them are almost never discussed in history or civics classes. But did it have to be like this? Does Great Britain want to gloss over the longest internal conflict in its recent history, which is often referred to as a civil war, not only here in Germany? The country needs a real discussion about British colonialism and the cover-ups and civil rights abuses up until '98. But it doesn't seem ready for it just yet. And now Brexit has shown how little understanding and consideration voters in other parts of the UK have for Northern Ireland. A resurgence of tension and violence in Northern Ireland followed. Only an open and honest examination of this part of British Isles history and Irish Isles can prevent this trend from continuing. There is also a need for action in Ireland. A study by the British Times on 25 years of the Good Friday Agreement said that 1 in 4 Irishmen under the age of 35 was uninformed about the history of the Troubles. Many blamed most of the conflict's casualties on the British Army rather than on the real culprits, the terrorist militias on both sides. That means the Irish Republican IRA and the Protestant Unionist Ulster Volunteers. And only 7% of those surveyed said they had received information about the conflict at school. In response, Irish leaders Leo Varadkar and Micheál Martin have criticized attempts to rewrite history for their own ends. But I honestly believe that an honest work on it, on your own history, is so important. I was so annoyed in school that for years I always heard about Nazi Germany, Nazi Germany, Nazi Germany. But that is important to hear. And I'll see you in my next video. I'll be back.